What's going on, everybody? I'm Average Joe, and welcome to another Average video where we like to get our grubby little hands on anything solar and battery powered. So in today's Average video, we're going to be checking out some new solar and battery powered cameras from Eufy. Now this will be the second sponsored video from Eufy. The first video was actually a solar and battery powered pan and tilt camera that I have mounted outside in my backyard on my tree, hopefully capture on video anybody crashing into my backyard. Luckily, since I've had that camera up, I haven't had that problem. Anyway, today's video, we're gonna be checking out the EufyCam S3 Pro 2 camera kit. Boom, there we go. All right, so we have a kind of like a quick start guide right up here on the top of the box. Right below that, we're gonna get our two Eufy 4K cameras. Below that, our HomeBase. Underneath that, we have another box, which is probably all the mounting and other accessories. Yes, that is correct. So we get three of these mounting bases right here. Looks like we have a power supply for the HomeBase. We're going to get a Ethernet cable so we can plug it into the internet. We're going to get all the mounting screws right here, some positioning stickers, and then we get a USB-A to C cable right here. Two more boxes down here. So this box is going to be a solar panel right here. And the last box, it's probably like an instruction manual and stuff like that. Oh yes, yes we do. All right, so here's everything that comes inside this kit. So we're gonna get some safety instructions, the quick start guide, a USB-C to A charging cable, a Ethernet cable, a power supply that's gonna go to the HomeBase S380. We're going to get a solar panel, the two S3 Pro cameras, three mounting bases. Two of these are going to go to the two cameras, and the third one is going to go to the solar panel if you use it. Of course, it comes with all the mounting hardware. It's going to come with three positioning stickers. Basically, it's a sticker with a couple of holes on it that match the bottom of the base, just in case you need to pre-drill in the location where you're going to mount everything. And next is going to be the hard drive screws, and then you also get a Eufy security camera sticker. All right, next thing we'll do real quick is we'll take a closer look at the HomeBase, the solar panel, and the cameras. And right after that, we're going to connect all of this up to the app, make sure we have everything working correctly, and then we're going to install it on the house. Alrighty, first thing is going to be the HomeBase S380. So this is going to be wherever you store all of your video files and all that kind of stuff. So this comes with a 16 gigabyte internal, storage space. However, you can expand it up to 16 terabytes. Basically, you just lift off this little cover and then you pull out this little tiny screw, pull out the tray, and then put in your little hard drive or SSD in there, and then you can actually install up to 16 terabytes. All right, so this does all sorts of voodoo magic right inside. So right over here, it says Bionic Mind AI technology. And what that does is it's supposed to intelligently identify faces, humans, packages, vehicles, pets, and it can accurately determine whether they're your friends or not, which seems, I don't know, seems unreal to me. You can also get instant messages or alerts, right to your phone, whether it is a friend or a foe. And it's supposed to also continuously learn and improve, based on, your input. All right, that seems pretty crazy to me. Anyway, right on the front, it says Eufy Security. We have a little LED ring indicator right there. On the back, we have a sync and alarm off button right here in the center. We're going to get two USB-A ports, a Ethernet port, because you are going to want to plug this into like your router, and then a spot to plug in the supplied power adapter. On the bottom here, it does have a little tiny speaker and then a reset button. All right, so that's the HomeBase S380. Next, we'll take a look at the EufyCam S3 Pro. All right, starting up here on the top, this is going to be their solar panel, and they call it the SolarPlus 2.0. Apparently, it is 50% larger than the EufyCam 3. I don't have one of those, so I can't show you, the actual difference. But basically what they're saying, in just 1 hour of sunlight, you can keep this, fully charged indefinitely. So you don't have to have this, 8 hours of sun or anything like that. You just need 1 hour. Okay, and the battery that is built inside of here is 1300 milliamp hour. Basically, so you can get the, multiple days without sun or just a limited amount of sun. So it's got a pretty big battery built right inside. All right, so that seems pretty cool. On the back is where you mount it with one of the bases that came with it. Let me just show you the base real quick. So these are not plastic, they're actually made out of metal. Okay, so to mount these up, you're going to undo the jam nut right here, and you have your 2 screw holes right here, so you can, mount this to wherever you're going to mount it. There's a couple of like little tiny fins right here, which line up with the slots inside of that part right there. So whenever this is together, it's not going to rotate, once you actually tighten down the jam nut. All right, so once you have this mounted to the wall, of course you're going to put your camera right there and then angle it whatever direction you want. And then you're going to crank down the jam nut right here, which is going to tighten down the little ball joint right there. All right, and that's pretty much how these work right here. So I do have one of their wireless cameras that's out there on my tree. That base right here is actually made out of plastic. So these are a huge improvement from that last model. So you get 3 of these, by the way. 2 for the cameras right here, and then 1 for the solar panel. All right, moving on. So of course, right up here in the front is going to be your camera lens. Right up here in this top corner, which you might not be able to see, there's going to be a little tiny microphone right up there because this is a 2-way. There's a speaker right on the bottom. You're going to get 4 white LED spotlights right there. You're also going to get 2 infrared LEDs. And then this little section right down here is going to be your PIR and radar sensor right here. And then there's a few different ways to view this at nighttime, stuff like that. We'll go over those here in just a little bit once we get into the app. Like I said, we have your speaker right there. We have our sync button, and then underneath this little guy right here is where you plug in the solar panel. The reason you would use the solar panel, let's say you mounted this up in a, real high up in one of your eaves or something like that, and not much light gets up on the top. You could actually plug in the solar panel into that port right there, and then mount the solar panel, away so you can still recharge the camera. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, you don't have to use that solar panel, but it is an option. All right, so that's pretty much all we have on the camera right here. And finally is gonna be the solar panel right here. This is probably 6 or 7 inches by 7 inches. I mean, there's really not much to it. You have your mounting right there. You have your charging cable right here that you plug into the back of the camera. And then right here, of course, it says Eufy, solar power, and it is 3 watts, okay? Output is 5 volts, 600 milliamps. So not a lot of power, but apparently enough to keep one of these charged. Actually, it's quite a bit bigger than that one over there, so this will probably charge it really quick. All right, and if we take a look at the outside of the box, it'll give us actually a lot of the specifications and stuff that this system does. So we have the Bionic Mind, the AI Bionic Mind. We get face recognition. We got 24/7 smart snapshots, so you could technically take a time lapse if you want. We got smart audio noise reduction, live viewing and recording history, so you should be able to easily, see all of your history and download it to your phone, etc. You're going to get an instant notification. We're going to get 2-way audio, so if you need to talk to the person that's outside or maybe a kid, etc., you can easily do that. And then finally we have cross-cam tracking, which is done through the HomeBase. So that seems like a pretty cool idea. We scroll over just a little bit, so radar powered motion detection. Radar and PIR dual motion sensors accurately detect human movement with customizable detection zones and advanced filtering algorithms. You can get alerts only on important events. Like I said earlier, the 24/7 smart snapshot, so keep an eye on activities between motion triggered events with periodic photo snapshots captured throughout the day. So basically kind of like a time lapse. The SolarPlus 2.0 forever power. So the built-in solar panel and 1300 milliamp hour battery keep the camera running year-round. Just 1 hour of direct sunlight a day keeps it fully charged. All right, so you don't have to put this, in full sunlight the entire day. You basically just need 1 hour of sunlight a day to keep it charged 24/7, 365. And of course, if you need a little extra power or you have the camera mounted, you know, like underneath an eave, underneath here, you can connect up the included solar panel. Of course, they're going to tell you it fits into every single home, so it's compatible with Apple Home, Google Assistant, and Alexa to see live streams on your smart devices. And then right over here, like we already mentioned, the Bionic Mind AI learning. So the HomeBase powers your EufyCam using self-learning facial recognition to distinguish between family and strangers. It offers comprehensive surveillance across multiple cameras within the security ecosystem. And then finally, local security in your control, and that's with the HomeBase. You know, basically everything is recorded on site. There's no monthly fees or anything like that. All right, so that's the 16 gig of the built-in storage on the HomeBase, expandable up to 16 terabytes with an external hard drive, not included, which basically lets you store a lifetime of videos at a push of a button. All right, next thing we're gonna do is connect everything up to the app, which I already have since I already have a Eufy camera, but it should be simple enough to add this to the system. All right, so first thing we're going to do is plug in the base station. I'm also going to plug in the internet as well. All right, so we do have a little blinky red light on here. All right, so we're going to click on Add Device right through here. So first thing we will add, I would imagine, would be the HomeBase, and we've got the S380, so we'll click on that. We'll hit next. All right, connect HomeBase to your router LAN, which we just did, and then also plug it into the wall, which we did. Wait 1 minute until HomeBase LEDs turn from red to blue. All right, so we do have a blue LED over here right now, so we're gonna hit next. So we need to scan the code on the bottom.
HomeBase has received a pairing request.
Wow, that was quick.
Press the sync button on the back to accept it.
All right, sync button is right back here on the back, and it's blinking red.
HomeBase was added successfully.
Wow, that was super easy. Okay, we're going to give it a name. I'm going to just call mine the average HomeBase. Done. Confirm. All right, that was added successfully. We can do familiar faces, which I'm not going to do right now, of course. We're going to update the firmware. We'll do that real quick. Said it could take about 5 minutes. All right, update is successful. We'll go ahead and hit next. Finish. Okay, I probably could have added a camera at that time, but I didn't, so we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So we'll hit battery camera, and we have the very top one, which is the EufyCam S3 Pro. Next.
Press the sync button until you hear the beep.
All right, we're gonna hit the sync button on the bottom of the camera till it beeps. And we do have a blue blinking LED right here on the camera. All right, we'll hit next, and we'll hit next.
To add device.
It's discovering.
Device was added successfully.
All right, that was real easy. I'm gonna hit next. Oh, this one is actually at 82% state of charge. Nice. All right, I had to run through that real quick so I could get to the microphone to turn that off. Otherwise, I got a whole bunch of crazy feedback. And now I'm getting all the notifications on my phone. All right, we're gonna get done with that one, and we're going to add the second camera. So I'll probably just fly through that real quick. All right, so on the app, you can see I just renamed them to 1 and 2 for right now until I get them actually mounted in their actual place. The picture that shows up on this home screen is basically the last snapshot, so once it updates, it'll be a new picture basically. And then right here we have the HomeBase, and then here at the very bottom is going to be the camera that I already have, which I'll probably try to add that just a little bit later. But anyway, we can go into the average HomeBase and we can see all the settings and all that kind of stuff that we have in here. Okay, so face management, you can click on that. All right, so in here, when a camera captures faces, HomeBase generates a local collection for you. And when the HomeBase sees a person several times, it'll automatically interact with them. Okay, so that's like family faces or people that you know. So we can back out of that one real quick, and then the AI empowerment. So HomeBase advances security with powerful smart AI detection that's capable of differentiating between family and strangers. Probably do this once we actually have the cameras set up outside, but that is something that you can do right here. We click on the little gear for the settings. we can go into audio settings. All right, so in here is going to be your alarm volume coming out of the HomeBase right here. And then you also have two different alarm tones, it looks like. Okay, so we'll just leave that how it is. Next one down is for the notifications. And then you have some ignore notifications altogether right there. And then under general, you can change the name, the connection, the working mode. All right, you have a standard and performance beta, which mine is already on performance, so I'll just leave it there. And then your time settings in here. Okay, that's pretty much all the settings in the home base. If we click on one of the cameras up here, I'm going to click on the three little dots and then go to the gear. So in here for the motion detection, of course, you can turn that on and off. You can set up activity zones if you like. You can hit the plus button. You can drag this shape around to wherever you want, and then you can grab each dot and make whatever shape that you would like, if that's what you would like to do. Of course, I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'll back out of that. And then right below that is your detection sensitivity and then detection type. So I'm honestly probably going to check every single one of these except for pet detection. Okay, we'll back out of that one real quick. All right, so of course you can do power management. So this one, number 2, is at 54% state of charge. We can do optimal battery life, optimal surveillance, and then custom recording. You can change that to whatever you like. Spotlight settings. I'm just going to leave it at 80% right now. Anti-theft detection. Basically, if somebody steals your camera, you know, of course, all of your footage is going to be recorded right here to the HomeBase station. I'll probably enable that once I actually have them installed. Snapshot, this is kind of like where you can do time lapse and stuff like that, so we could enable that. And then right down here you can click on the time, and that's how often it will take a snapshot. It's just automatically on 30 minutes, so I'm going to leave that there. And then of course you have all your video, audio, and other settings down here. Streaming quality, I'll probably just leave that on auto because it just kind of depends on how far away your cameras are and how good the Wi-Fi is from the camera to the base station, so I'm just going to leave mine on auto. Record quality, of course you can change that as well. Night vision, so in here we'll probably have to, of course, do this at nighttime, but you get 4 different ways to view this at night. So you have the standard MaxColor Vision, you get daylight MaxColor Vision, you get spotlight, that's where obviously your spotlight is going to turn on, and then your regular infrared or black and white mode. And then privacy zones, you can set that up in here. And of course you can share this with other family members so they can view from the cameras as well. All right, well that is pretty awesome. All right, I was just gonna give you a quick little example of how quick this actually works. So I've got it sitting up here on my phone so I can record the screen, and it's really, really quick. I mean, look at that. That is really, really nice. Okay, let me see if there's any other settings I can do real quick while we're messing around. So I could hit the light, and I believe you can hold down on my face, and there's the adaptive light. So it just dimmed pretty good on the camera. If I move it back, which we'll probably have to do this at nighttime for it to work a little bit better. But the further I get away, the brighter the lights are going to be. Down here on the bottom, this is where you have all of your other options. So you've got record, you can turn on and off the sound, which I have it off right now. You can call it, that's where you can do the two-way back and forth from the camera to your phone. All right, you have playback, and you can do your different night vision modes right here. Do spotlight mode, infrared mode, etc. Then events, and then screenshot, which we could just do right there. Okay, so you got all sorts of stuff that you can do in here. Of course, if you click on the gear, it's going to bring you right back to all of your settings right here. Okay, I think the next thing we're actually going to do is take these outside and mount them on my house. This one I'm going to put underneath this gutter right up here. I'm going to be using 2 of the screws that came with it. Okay, that was easy. And now we just add the camera, point it in the general direction, and then we will use the app to figure out the final direction. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll tighten everything down. All right, one camera is mounted. White balance is gonna go crazy. All right, looks like we have plenty of sun on the top for the recharge. That looks good. So that one looks pretty good. Go right out here, wave to you real quick. I don't have any notifications on. I turn them all off while I do this. I might lose connection with my phone though. Pretty far out here right now. Okay, so this was a blind spot in our yard from our other cameras. All right, now we'll set up the next one. The next one we're gonna put underneath the gutter right next to my front door. Now we'll use the app to see what this one looks like and adjust it. Boom, got the second one mounted up, and this one is kind of facing south-southwest, so we are facing towards the sun, just not directly at the sun. So we should get great recharge for this one right here. This area right here was basically a blind spot for our other camera system. So now we can see basically around my entire house. We just had two little blind spots that we couldn't quite see. Alrighty, I don't know if this is gonna work very well, but time now is 10:01 p.m. and I've got the settings on my camera. I've got the ISO set on 6400 just so you can see the lights and stuff across the street. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the camera towards the south where one of the Eufy cameras are going to be pointing, just to show how dark it actually is. And we're going to test out some of those nighttime settings. And of course, I am gonna be screen recording this on my phone. So if you look at my camera, it is completely pitch black over this way. However, if you look on the Eufy camera, it looks like daylight. It's crazy. So right now we're on daylight, and we'll switch over to standard. I didn't really notice much of a difference on that. Okay, now we're going to go over to spotlight, and maybe you can see it show up. There we go. You can see it show up on my camera a little bit better. Alrighty, and then we're going to go over to infrared. Alright, so there is infrared. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go back to standard, and then I'm just going to go out there and stand maybe a little bit by that tree. And it's probably going to do some alerts and stuff on here. Alright, there we go. I'm going to try to make it so you can see the front of my shirt right there. And I'll try to zoom in. And you can read my shirt there. Let me just shine my phone right at you. Okay, so you should be able to read my shirt just fine. I'm at least 15 feet away. All right. Okay, now let me zoom back out real quick, and we'll go to the night vision mode, and we're going to go to daylight. I think it brightened it up just a little bit. I'll do the same thing as I'll put my phone right off over here. You should be able to read my shirt. Now we'll go over to spotlight. Then maybe I can show you the brightness on here. So I am going to click on my face here. Okay, there. I just saw the light dim a little bit, but let me hit it right here real quick. The light got a little bit dimmer. All right. That's what the spotlight looks like, and then we'll go to infrared. There we go. I'll move my phone off to the side, and maybe you can see my t-shirt right here. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go to the other camera, and I'm just going to show you again. We'll be looking at the street out here, the street lights. That's how dark it is, and this is the direction that we'll be facing. And look at that. Look how bright it is right now. And I'm directly underneath the camera, okay? I'm going to go to the night vision. So right now we're on standard. We're just going to hit the daylight. It definitely brightens it up just a little bit. We'll go to the spotlights. You can see a little bit of a change on my camera. Definitely makes it really bright out here. Then we'll go to infrared. Okay, now I'll just go out here and stand real quick. Basically in front of hopefully both cameras. Okay. I'm just going to face this way right here. It's a little creepy if I do that. Okay, so this is standard. Here's my t-shirt right here. Okay. And then we'll go to daylight. It brightens it up a little bit. Here's my phone off to the side, and here's my t-shirt again. Alrighty. And then we'll go to spotlights. Boom. Look how crazy that is. Hopefully it shows up on this camera right down here. Now you can actually see me in that. Okay, that's what the spotlight looks like. All right, then we'll go back to the night vision, and then I'm gonna go to infrared. Boom. All right, there we go. There's my phone. Actually, one of my other cameras turned on, so there could be more infrared on me right now. Yeah, I think my other camera messed this up, and it's sitting right over there, but that's okay. We're gonna go back to daylight mode. Boom, there you go. I would say the nighttime viewing on these two cameras are phenomenal. The daylight setting, I mean, it really is day-like out there. I mean, even just the regular standard viewing is amazing, but if you hit the daylight setting, it just brightens it up just a smidge more, and it's pretty much daylight out there, which is, I don't know, that's freaking crazy to me. All the other cameras I've ever had don't even compare to anything like that. Like my current system that I have now, if I turn it on the daylight setting, it doesn't look anything remotely close. So these cameras are badass. And one other thing I was going to mention real quick, I was able to get the S330 that I have out there in the middle of my yard attached to the tree. I was able to add that to the S380 home base without a problem. And all of that works honestly even better than it did before. Not sure why I'm standing so close, but one thing about the S330 camera that I have out there, it won't connect to the S380 home base if you're using the SIM card, you know, like a cell phone signal, stuff like that, if you have it in the middle of nowhere. You can only add it to the home base, you know, if you're on your local Wi-Fi. Alrighty, well that's pretty much all I got. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, I would love to hear those down in the comment section. Of course, if anybody's looking for the EufyCam S3 Pro, I'm gonna have affiliate links down below. And of course, if this video is helpful in any way, make sure you like that smash button on your way out, and I will see you on the next. The nighttime viewing on these cameras